So I just want to say that the beginning of this video is going to be a little chaotic, but there are some things that I want to show you. Like, I love this cow footage, or water buffalo footage, and oftentimes I sit at my favorite coffee shop called Long, and it's on the river, and I can extremely lazily get some video sitting there. And also I had this footage of the water, the rain, and it's just sublime. The rain in Vietnam just is amazing. And these people here are Quang and Na. She goes by Jessica, her American name. Goodbye, Jessica. Goodbye, Quang. See Quang, see Jessica, see you, bye, 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 bye. So they have a wonderful business up there. It's on the northern end of the Son Cha Peninsula, and I've been renting for them for 11 months, and I love them, and their children are wonderful. And so this is the highway that goes up to the container port, and it's usually got a bunch of trucks on it. That's most of what the traffic is on this. And I thought I should ride up there and get a picture of the container port for you. And this was parked there. This is called the World Dream, and it is 335 meters long. It's 2 meters longer than the USS Carl Vinson. It's registered in Nassau, Bahamas, and its home port is Hong Kong. And I'm giving you a little scan here of the seawall to give you some idea of really how big this ship is. I mean, it's gigantic. It's the biggest ship I've ever seen. You know, I'm not sure if I've ever seen an aircraft carrier, but it's just like, it dwarfs that mountain. And so here's the highway. I am out riding, which I do quite a bit. I love to ride. It's really fun. And I know the areas where there's very little traffic. The north part of the peninsula has very little traffic on it. And so I, come up here and cruise around, and there's also good opportunities for photography. It's not very, very densely populated yet. The city will push out and fill this up eventually, but right now it's not very, very densely populated. A few mansions going in. And I'm headed west across the top of the peninsula right now. That's the DaNang Golden Bay in front of me, the big hotel. And I will show you a map of where we are here in a second. So I pull over. Here's where we are. And you can see pretty much what the landscape looks like up here. There's the container port. And, I'm wearing my GoPro on the chest harness. I'm just like doing something quick here to show you where I am. And then running off again. So this is the river road on the peninsula side, and I'm heading south. And this goes way down there, probably a full 12 kilometers from this point south. This green wall, there's a marina being built here, and the apartments to the left are called the Marina Complex. There are a lot of available units in there if you're interested in moving to Da Nang. I'm also hungry at this point, and so I'm going to jump across the Han Bridge and go have breakfast at the Happy Heart. So here's the bridge, and the bridge is kind of long, so I chopped a piece of it out instead of videotaping the whole thing going across, or instead of showing it to you. So here we go. So I'm going to turn left on Bok Dong, which is the northbound one-way right on the river. And I'm also going to hang a left around the Novotel, which is this tower up here. So DaNang's super easy to get around on a motorbike. Those guys are turning left there down a one-way, so that's why I felt safe to go up the right. Here's the Happy Heart. And the Happy Heart is managed and run by the deaf-mute community, and they do a wonderful job, wonderful job. So this is the English breakfast, and it's world-class. It's like the best breakfast I've ever had. And it's 145,000 dong, which is $6 maybe. I also bought a loaf of bread. They have really wonderful whole wheat bread. So where are we going now? Back down. Oh yeah. So there's been a real crackdown on motorbikes and Westerners with no motorbike licenses. So I am very close to getting my license. I'll have it on the 17th. And today is the 5th. So I've got, basically 12 days before I'll have it. And I'm going through the process of getting it. I'm working with an agent to get my license. So now I'm in an attempt to not find myself inside of any drag nets or police stops. I'm heading back over to the peninsula on the main bridge to the north. And this is sometimes super windy. It's like you can go as fast as you want, but it's also like so windy sometimes you just get blown around. So it's a little spooky. So I go, fast enough. And then I'm immediately going to hang a right down here and head back to the river road. And I will spare you the pain of driving down the upper part of the river road. So there's the DaNang Golden Bay, the hotel right there. This time I'm on the south side of it. Nope, can't go that way. So this is what the neighborhood looks like, Big houses, big private houses. I'm really surprised as to how much money there is in DaNang. There's a lot. So here's the marina complex again. Okay, so now I cut all that out. So I'm heading south from the Han Bridge. There's the Dragon. I'm going to keep going south. I'm delivering some school supplies to my friend Swan. Over the last year, I buy Kit Kats, and sometimes Kit Kats come bundled with school supplies, the little rulers and pencils and erasers, and I have 10 of them. And so I'm going to drop them off to my friend Swan, who works at a school. She has 43 kids at her school. And I'm not going to show you where she lives. I'm going to just blow past it. I actually got off my bike and walked in there with my camera going, but for her security, I'm not going to show you where she lives. I'm going to drive right past it. And then I'm going to continue exploring. So I'm almost to the end of the river road. It goes down a little bit further. This is kind of one of the main drags that takes you back up to the big highway, which I will be on here in a second. Okay, so Zwanny lives right in there somewhere. Here's the highway coming up. And we're going to go past the front of a hotel. And, well, hang on. I'm going to get gas first, okay? Seems like every 2 days I put 2 liters in. So I'm usually at about 1 liter a day, which is good. I don't know if I ride a lot or if I don't. I have no comparison. All my riding is just sort of farting around riding. It's nothing serious. No commutes or anything. I was trying to cross this intersection the other night at sunset, and half the people didn't have their headlights on, and it was just too dangerous. So I turned right instead and figured it out the other way. So here I am exploring. I've been up here before. I'm doing this for your benefit, taking some crazy back roads. It's always super fun to do this. Just, hang a left and see where it goes. Hang a right, see where it goes. And I am heading into the southern part of the city that is being developed. As the city grows, this is where the city is being pushed into. It's south of the river, south of Comley. Comley is the name of the river eventually. As it comes out of the hinterlands, it's called Comley, and then it becomes the Han River. So I just overshot this. I'm going to flip a U here. And this is kind of a fun trail. Last time I was here it was dry, and this time it's kind of muddy. So I'll show you what we're up against. But this drops down into a little island. There's a little roadway here that takes us across to this little island, and I'll show you a map here in a second. But I really love this. This has a really nice feel to it, although it's probably super floodplainy. Anytime. So see this little island here, and I enter on the right and exit on the left there, and I will exit onto this big, brand new area that's being built up. It's all flat, and it's all being developed into housing. So I love this little island. This little island is like so cool. It would be fun to, maybe not, I don't know. I have no idea. The romantic in me says, oh, it'd be so cool to go live in a hut in the jungle, But in reality, you're just like surrounded by mosquitoes that want to kill you with 10 diseases. And so here's the trail going out the backside. I'm going to take this trail out to this little dam, and cross. And last time I was here, it was smooth, no problem, just a dirt road. And this, it's been beat to death with mud. Okay, so here I am landing on this little platform here, or big platform. This is where there's a ton of development going on. There's a lot of construction going on. A lot of infrastructure being put in. So underneath the word south of town there, this is this big section that's being built up. That was an image from Google Earth. And so, and I come down here and ride around. There's a lot of fun stuff to see. There are cows rolling around and lots of construction going on. And, I should really muster the cojones to walk into a little cafe down here. And because I really like this place. It has a nice feel to it. It has a really nice feel to it. And then the section just north of this also has a great feel to it. And you can see Marble Mountain there in front. So we're getting pretty far south. Marble Mountain is about 8 kilometers. So I'm showing this map again for a reason, just to give it so you can see where we are. And there's a lot of construction here, a lot of trucks, so the roads are they're brand new, but also getting kind of beaten up by the trucks already. But this will all be developed into side-by-side, 5-meter wide townhouses like the rest of the city. Cows. And this, whole thing is surrounded by water. Like I said, when the tide is high, this is all tidal water too. It's close enough to the ocean that this is tidal, brackish mostly. And, tides with a storm surge, you could find yourself in a flood situation, I'm sure, even, at this level. And global warming and water level rise and tides and storm surge, you could be in big trouble here. If I was going to build here, I'd want to put it on stilts. Sink some concrete piers into the ground and build it 20 feet high. Build it 20 feet off the ground here. And this is the national pastime of Vietnam, taking a leak on the side of the road. Most enjoyable, most utterly enjoyable, you know, and then keep going. So this bridge up here is one of the major, or will be, one of the major bridges in the city. It's pretty far south. It tees into the big highway that runs north and south on the peninsula. And now we're going to go do something else here. I had a lunch with a friend, my wife. She's somebody that I dated for a little while, and then she kept bugging me to go out with her again, and so I did. And I was supposed to meet her somewhere, and the address was no good, so I ended up coming here and asked her to come here. And she showed up and ordered all this stuff in Vietnamese, and they brought out half a chicken that was boiled or steamed or something, and another half a chicken that was baked. And they also brought out this big pot of soup. And I was expecting a little bit of rice and chicken.
We are eating tiny dinosaur.
My expectations were not met that day. When I first got there, I ordered rice and chicken, and I expected a tiny bit of rice and a tiny bit of chicken. This is the baked part of it. But they split the chicken right down the middle. So one plate had half of a head, and the other plate had the other half of the head. And she could tell I was upset. I ended up paying for it, and it pissed me off. But we ended up at this beautiful coffee shop. Just beautiful coffee shop. Not too far from there, and on the highway that's down by Cam Lay. And I noticed these brick pillars around, and I thought I'd shoot them. These are, you know, sort of historical. They're based, you know, on the Cham people's design. There are a bunch of temples not too far south of here at a place called My Son that are ancient. They're 10th century, 11th century. And these are sort of following that design, the design of those temples down there. And I'm going to go down there and make a video of that pretty soon, after I get my license on the 17th. Shortly thereafter, I will go down there and make a video. And if you've seen my video on the Cham History Museum, watch that if you want to see a bunch of this stuff. So, and that's where it is. It's on Cam Lay, right there. Really nice. And then the other thing is, this is one of my favorite neighborhoods in DaNang. It's a little bit north of the flat area. It's a little more mature here. It's a super cool area. Right there. It's more mature, and it has a nice feel to it. And I've just, you know, found these places by exploring. You just get on your motorbike and put your camera on, or not even with the camera. I've explored a lot without the camera. You know, and I learned the city really, really fast because I was shooting video and exploring. There's a big spa right there in the red brick thing. So this is called Europa Village, and you know, it's big beautiful lots and big beautiful houses, and nothing that I can afford, at least right now, maybe in the future. But it has a moat around it. You can access from either gate, and you can't drive onto it without going through the gate. So if you want to roll a tank through rich people town, you're going to have to go through the gate, because there's a moat. There's a river on one side and moat on the other side, which is kind of interesting. So then, you know, now I'm just going to go have coffee with a friend, with Jonah, go up to Phi Long, And this, so to give you an idea of the location of this, or the location of some other things, I'm heading north right now, and there's Mega Mart right there. I flashed the sign there. And this is one of the major highways. In fact, this is the same highway that connects with the container port. So you see a lot of big trucks on here, and it's kind of dangerous. It's pretty dense. There's a lot more traffic on the left side of the river than there is on the right side of the river. A lot more. The city's a lot denser. And so I'm going back over to Soncha. I'm gonna go have coffee with my friend Jonah. There's Latte Mart right there. And you know, also I've sped this up to 4 times normal, right? In the computer, I just, you know, it's sped up by a factor of 4. So, okay, that's that one. Enjoy.